What's poppin', sports fans? I am Kendrick the Sports Guy. We got a good one for you today. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Well, we are into the second week of the new ESPN First Take tandem of Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe. You all know the stories. Shannon Sharpe left FS1's Undisputed after almost 7 years with being a sidekick and co-host with Skip Bayless, and he was without a job from June up until Labor Day. Speaking of which, ESPN's First Take ratings have skyrocketed since Shannon Sharpe has joined the crew. But there was an interesting piece of information dropped by Stephen A. Smith on the Joe Budden podcast a couple of days ago. Joe Budden asked Stephen A. about, was that really the right thing to do, to just be vocal about wanting to bring him on after, that was your guy, Skip Bayless. He worked with him and you made it known that you wanted him at ESPN First Take. Well, Stephen A. will respond with a bombshell of a detail that none of us had heard before. Take a listen to what Stephen A. Smith's response was to Joe Budden's question.
That hurts. You're going to go after the co-host so soon. You didn't care.
I didn't look at it that way.
Got it.
I would have looked at it that way if Shannon left of his own volition. I'm telling you he didn't. I'm telling you he was pushed out.
That's the first time I've ever heard that.
Well, I'm telling you, and it's fact. Now, they can deny it. He wouldn't. I can promise you that. He was pushed out. He didn't want to leave. He was notified that your services would no longer be needed. But again, that's his story to tell.
Course.
But I'm telling you what I know. I'm giving you facts. And so when I saw that, it wasn't just that I know the brother's talented. It wasn't just that I know he's a 3-time Super Bowl champion and an NFL Hall of Famer. It wasn't just that I knew that he had been doing television the last 6 years. I saw me from the standpoint of I was let go in 2009 and left for dead. And they were writing my epitaph and they were like, Stephen A.'s career's over. He blew it. He had the opportunity of a lifetime. He effed it up and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, there was nobody in the present day Stephen A. Smith's position as the guy in sports media, as the executive producer for the #1 sports morning show that could speak up for me at that time. And I said, this is why I'm here.
Stephen A. will go on to say in that podcast that he was motivated to push to bring Sharpe on over to First Take because he could relate to Shannon's situation. Stephen A. claimed he was left for dead when ESPN fired him back in 2009, and at the time there wasn't someone in Smith's current position that had his back like Stephen A. does for Shannon. So again, what interesting detail to this. Sounds like that we all thought that it was a mutual pretty much divorce, but sound like Shannon Sharpe did not want to leave. But again, Stephen A. would also say that Shannon would have to tell that side. Until we hear that from Shannon's mouth, we really don't know. But Stephen A., I'm sure, would have the inside track and inside info on a whole lot of that went down with Undisputed. And now that I hear that, I'm not surprised. I think Skip Bayless became a little bit jealous. I think he felt a little bit threatened by Shannon Sharpe presence and his popularity. It had pretty much took over. If you watch Undisputed, I know me personally, I kind of stopped watching, not because I thought they did the same topics, but I really watched because of Shannon. It definitely wasn't for Skip Bayless, by no means, and that's just my personal preference. So I'd like to know what you guys think about this new bombshell detail that Stephen A. dropped about Shannon Sharpe really not wanting to leave Undisputed. Drop a comment, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. I am Kendrick the Sports Guy. We will see you on the other side and on the next report. I am out of here. Peace.